What's up, nerds? We're your hosts. I am Chad.
And I am Jake. This is our weekly podcast where we explore the world of nerd from TV, movies, games, comics, news, and books.
We will give you our opinions, theories, and oftentimes spoilers.
We will also have friends and experts as guests on the show to elaborate further on those topics.
But be prepared. We like to have a few drinks, so buckle up.
If you want to support our show, like, share, and subscribe wherever you enjoy your podcasts.
You can also become a premium subscriber over at buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd.
So let's get into it. This is the All Things Nerd podcast.
Nerd.
Welcome, nerds, to the All Things Nerd podcast, your weekly dive into all things nerd. Chad, I hope you had a good week. But with that, let's jump into our first topic. But first, cheers.
Well, before we touch on that first topic, if our listeners want to become super listeners, premium subscribers, whatever you want to call it, check out our buymeacoffee.com. It's buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd. With that, you get some behind the scenes. Shout out to new members like this week. Shout out to Dave Morris, who joined last week. We post our pre-show warm-ups there where we have a drink, talk about a random topic, and catch our buzz before we do this. This week we talked a little bit about AI and how fucking terrifying it is. But yeah, again, that's buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd.
All right. As you guys probably all know at this point, because we keep saying it every freaking week until it happens, we are going to be at Twin Cities Con. Come see us. We'll have like a live feed going. We'll do some trivia, have some giveaways, stuff like that. Plus, we'll have some booze there if you want to come do a shot with us. It'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Please come say hi.
And as we get closer, we'll know exactly where our booth and table are going to be situated.
Yeah.
We just don't know yet. They haven't released the layout yet. So
Yeah.
and that's November 8th, 9th, and 10th in Minneapolis at the Convention Center.
And we'll be there all 3 days. So.
Yeah.
Woo. Woo. So our first actual topic this week is going to be Rings of Power, Season 2, Episode 2 and 3.
Fucking love this show.
It's actually like, I really liked the first season, but the second season has really stepped up quite a bit for me. So
Yeah.
really enjoying it this season a little bit more.
I think, well, the stakes
And
are
you
higher.
lied to me.
What?
Oh, I forgot his name. Hold on, I gotta look him up. The one guy, the elf guy, he's like mulatto colored guy.
Yeah.
I don't want to say, yeah, whatever. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but he is not in episode 2.
Episode 3.
You were like, he'll be back in the next episode, and I was like, sweet. And I watched it, and I was like, he's not back.
Well, they episode dumped the first 3 episodes, and I watched them all the same night. So I thought he showed up much earlier, but he is in episode 3.
Yeah, I have not been able to binge it. It was it was just last night, but it was my son's first birthday party yesterday, and so all week I have been just fucking busting my ass trying to get everything ready for the party. So I didn't watch a whole lot of TV, but
Yeah.
we got it in. We got it in what we needed to.
Woo!
Yeah, woo.
Yeah, I mean, I love that Elrond is super hesitant and skeptical of the rings because of Halbrand, aka Sauron, having at least some sort of influence over the creation of them, even though he did not touch these rings at all.
Yeah.
Well, the elven rings.
Hmm.
And he kind of transforms himself to trick Celebrimbor, even more so, telling him that he's a messenger from the gods.
Yeah, you're talking about Sauron. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
I
then starts
really,
going by the
sorry,
name
I'm sorry.
Anatar. So, but
I really like the focus shift in this season, as where like first season was really on Galadriel,
mm-hmm.
and then now it's like starting to shift. Now that she accepted the ring and is wearing the ring, the focus has shift onto Elrond
Yeah,
as like the main character in this season, which is pretty cool.
yeah,
Rather than just having it be like one person, you know. But it's
yeah,
just interesting because the whole first season was all about Galadriel, you know,
yeah,
and that she was like the center point of the whole first season. And now season two, she's been corrupted or potentially corrupted by the
yeah,
ring that she's wearing, and now the focus is shifting over to Elrond being the main character in this season.
yeah. And what's really interesting is all the like flashes that she's seen from the ring.
Hmm.
Whether it's for better or for worse is yet to be seen. Um, but it's kind of cool that uh, her High King Galad, um, and I always forget the third elf's name that has the third ring. Uh, they've all they're all getting like these glimpses,
Hmm.
um, and they're kind of all accepting that might not be the best idea to use these rings, but it's kind of like a lesser of two evils,
Hmm.
um, which is kind of a cop out. Like, oh, I get all this extra power and it might be bad, but I get all this extra power. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And now I think at the end of episode two, um, the dwarves have now been sent an invitation to receive a ring as well. So
Yeah,
it's getting there. They're all gonna
yeah.
be corrupted.
And also, I mean, Galadriel is on a quest to one, find Sauron and stop him, and
Mm-hmm.
two, get to Celebrimbor to tell him
Mm-hmm.
that it's Sauron. And the king of the elves uh, appoints Elrond to be the leader instead of Galadriel, as kind of a failsafe.
Yeah, she was pissed.
Yeah, she was not thrilled about that at all.
Well, and you can kind of see because there's like a part earlier in the episode where um she's talking to Elrond about like wanting to use the rings for good or whatever, and then he tells her, and she says that Sauron um she doesn't want Sauron to get back in. She's like, I can't let him back in. And Elrond is like, because you accepted this ring and you're still wearing it, he's still with you. He never left you.
Yeah,
And he's like, if you're truly my friend, you need to leave and like get away from me.
yeah,
Uh, and then at the end of the episode, she's appointed or he's appointed the head of her army, and
yeah,
you can kind of see like that darkness, you know?
yeah. That
Yeah.
we see in the Fellowship also when she's tempted by the One Ring,
Hmm.
just you know, unleashing like her power and anger and all of her emotion. It's like a start of that
Hmm.
here.
Hmm.
Um,
Your camera is like,
I noticed.
yeah.
I'm so sorry. 1 second. I'll keep talking, but hopefully turning my camera off and on. Oh, look at that.
Bye.
It's a
Bye.
bad face. I should update my Zoom profile picture.
How is starring in Sonic 3?
That was the mustache you shaved on me years ago for our mustache May. Um, but hopefully that's better now. Uh, there is a really, really cheesy part with Anatar and Celebrimbor Anatar is the new name that Sauron is going by. Um, as he basically confirms, though, that he is a Maiar.
Is it the same guy?
It is.
Okay, because he
I had to
looks after.
look it up because I was like,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
not him. It
He
is.
looks so different because
Yeah.
he was kind of had like the rugged thing going on, and now his new form that he's taken is as an elf. Basically, he's got the pointy ears, the very Legolas blonde hair,
Yeah.
like clean shaven. Like I was like, is that even the same guy? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I
wild.
also had to do a double take. And I was like, that's so weird.
Yeah.
But
Anyways, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, that's totally fine. That's a good point.
I didn't look it up.
I
I just assumed it was the same guy, but I didn't actually look it up. So I was like, maybe Chad looked it up. I don't know.
maybe like you had to question that. Of course, I looked it up. I have a problem. Uh, but he is as he's trying to convince Celebrimbor to make more of these rings because elves and dwarves don't necessarily get along, and Celebrimbor definitely doesn't want to make them for men.
Hmm.
And Anatar is telling him like, "This is your chance to go down in history as much more than just Celebrimbor, maker of fine things. You can go down in history as the Lord of the Rings." And there's like a cheesy like graphic that pops up, and he's like floating in the clouds, and it's like, come on, what is this? The church PBS show? It just looked very daytime cable evangelicism.
Mm.
But it was enough to convince Celebrimbor, where he's like, you know what, you're right. I could do this. I could be awesome.
And he did.
Yeah, but he doesn't go down as the Lord of the Rings. That would be Sauron.
Mm. We're partners, as he said. We're
Yeah,
partners, no more, no less.
yeah.
That's
And that's
the
that's not real.
I was gonna do the Maury thing and be like the lie detector test came back and determined that was a lie.
I was gonna go from the Tyler the Creator interview where he's like, "Well, that was a fucking lie." But we I should have looked up because you brought up that he doesn't show up until the third episode. Um, the the elf that is kind of looking over Theo because his mother died. Um, I will try and do that
Oh
while I
shit.
talk.
There is a really important part that we left out of episode 2.
Oh yeah, go.
I forgot. Well, Gandalf, even though he's not called Gandalf yet, unleashes his power again and loses the two hobbits that he's traveling with.
Yeah.
They get
Oh,
like
that's right.
swept away in that tornado.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's in the second episode.
Hmm. And they make because I think it's where they're traveling to, because he's like they're trying to find like a name for him, and they're
Yeah.
like, we should call you this, and he's like, no, that's not my name. That's not my name. That's not my name. And but but then they mention that they're traveling to Gand.
They're trying to find him a Gand, which is like a
Yeah.
staff wand.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what it was. And then the one that he finds um disintegrates while he's using it.
Yeah.
So, I assume that's how they're gonna pick his name. Pick his name. I don't know why I whispered that. Sorry.
Yeah.
This is a podcast. You need to be able to hear me.
Yeah, they're hardfoots. Harfoots is what
Hmm.
they call them. They're like the descendants of hobbits,
Yeah.
and Nori is a Brandyfoot, which they're the descendants of the Brandyfoots are at Bilbo's birthday party when he disappears in the Fellowship, which is kind of cool.
Oh yeah, I remember it when he's giving his speech.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool.
I like half as you as much as I'd like, and I like half of you half as much as you deserved. And they're like, the fuck, that was mean. Um,
I have to go now. Goodbye.
um, the elf's name that I was thinking of is Urandir, played by
Okay.
Ismail Cordova. His entrance is so awesome
Yes?
in
Oh,
episode
sweet.
3. Because Isildur is traveling with, I don't remember the lady's name either, because he like finds her and she's injured, or she's hiding. He finds her, she stabs him in the leg, and then she's like, "Oh my god!" and like pulls the knife out. And he's like, "Why'd you do that? You're supposed to leave it in." And she's like, "How do you know?" And he's like, "Because now I'm bleeding."
Like modern medicine that we don't have yet.
Yeah. But they're traveling and they come across some of Adar's followers. And Arondir comes in and just starts murking people. It's so rad. I love his character. Yeah, sorry, my watch
I'm
went
not
off.
even wearing mine.
Holy
I'm
tan line
wearing,
Batman.
yeah,
So that's how light you get.
that's how light I can get.
Um, but yeah, you had mentioned Gandalf, the stranger.
Mm,
Um, they do at the end of season 1. They use the elven word for friend on him, which is Mithandir, which is what Galadriel calls him in the Fellowship also, and Elrond.
Nathan.
Nathan.
Just kidding.
Nathan. It is funny. I don't remember all the names that they tried running past him, but they kept like,
It was only like 2.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, no.
He's like, that's a fine name, but it is not my name.
Yeah.
That's not my name. And then they throw like one more out there, and then he gives his big speech about name is like who you are, and
Yeah.
yeah.
And as he walks away, then Nori goes back to the first name that she says, and she's like, I bet that's his name. Um, but yeah, one thing that we do see, which is why, I mean, I'm also a big like Lord of the Rings fan. Um, so I know that the Elven rings aren't actually corrupted. Unless they're going differently with the story, it is a new adaptation, so they could influence it one way or another. But we do see when the dwarves show up at the end of season 3 to get their rings that when they King Durin hands the mithril to Celebrimbor, and before he can drop it into the forge, Anatar grabs it out of his hand and walks it over before dropping it into the forge. So that's him actually, like, a subtle way of showing that he's putting his influence over these rings.
Mm.
But we don't see what the rings look like yet. Yeah. And the seal door is pretty pretty badass also. I'm stoked to see because they're starting to put a lot more emphasis on him.
Isildur?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, because yeah, I mean, if you're listening to this podcast and you don't know much about the Lord of the Rings, you might be in the wrong place. I don't know as much as Chad knows, but I do know enough.
yeah.
Anyways, Isildur is the guy who the broken sword from the movies. If you've seen the movies,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's the one who had the last stand with Sauron and broke his sword.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
defeated Sauron at
Yeah.
the end of,
Well, he didn't defeat him because he came back. So.
well, at the end of the Second Age. Yeah. You're right. Guess I need to speak faster.
But yeah,
And the casting's amazing in this. If we haven't said that 1,000 times already,
yeah.
the story's awesome. I know that they're condensing like 1,000 years of Tolkien's history to tell this story,
Mhm.
but I think that it's being done so well. Little things from the books that didn't show up
They're
in
called hobbits, dude. God.
Harfoots. Thank you. We haven't met a hobbit yet. um, but like little details that were very important in like the original books and stuff like that that didn't make it into the trilogy are popping up here and there, and it's
Yeah.
really awesome to see.
Yeah. Agreed. I don't have a layup for this week.
That's why I kept
'Cause-
talking to see if you would come up with something.
yeah, no, I don't really have anything.
The seal door is so hot right now.
Um, please go check out our second sponsor. Our second sponsor is Crybaby Craig's Hot Sauce. It's a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce. It goes on practically anything. Listen up, we'll tell you more about it.
Hey, you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today.
Okay, nerds, it is time for Trivial Nerd Suit. This week's question is for Chad. It's provided by me, Jake. That's me.
Oh.
If you would like to submit a question to try to stump one of us, please reach out. Sorry, I hiccuped right in the middle of that. I told you I was going to fuck this up. If you would like to try to stump one of us, please reach out to us on our website over at www.allthingsnerdpod.com and use our contact form. Just mention who the question is for. This goes to a third party, so we cannot cheat. Chad, are you ready?
Yes, because I cannot cheat.
Okay, so I'm gonna send it and then read it to you in real time.
Cool.
Since this is about our next topic that we're gonna talk about on this week's episode. So, it's a Terminator question. So
Ooh.
here we go. In the Terminator franchise, Kyle Reese is known as John Connor's dad. But before Kyle Reese was sent back to save Sarah Connor, John Connor already existed in the future. Who was John Connor's actual dad?
Oh, fuck. I need that hint.
He saves Sarah Connor's life.
So, Kyle Reese? No. Yeah, Kyle Reese. It's a
Is that your
weird.
final?
It's a weird
Is that your
paradox.
final answer?
It is. Who else saved her?
Is that your final answer?
Yes, I could be wrong.
You're right. It is Kyle Reese. So in the first movie, it's speculated that because Sarah was dating somebody else in the beginning of the movie, his name was Stan Morsky, and it's speculated that he was John Connor's biological father originally until Kyle Reese went back in time, and then Kyle Reese slept with her,
And
creating John Connor.
yeah, because it was like a weird paradox.
Mm-hmm. So it is Kyle Reese.
Okay.
I was trying to trick you. I was trying to trip you up.
You did.
But you guessed it right. And I was like, fuck. The hint, maybe you gave it away. I didn't have a better hint because I didn't know. Other than Stan Morsky's name, I didn't really know.
Yeah,
He's not in the movie very long.
Yeah.
And it's only speculated that because they never actually say that Sarah Connor and Stan had sex because they
Yeah.
only went on one date.
Yeah, but
So
it was the 80s.
yeah, yeah.
Cocaine.
So yeah, no, you got it.
Oh, you had me worried and confused.
The hint fucked it up. The hint fucked me over.
Yeah,
I
cuz
would
I
I think
couldn't
I
I
would have had
couldn't
you stumped
you
if I
would
didn't.
have
Yeah.
cuz I wouldn't have been, that was the only person that I could think of that ever saved her
Yeah.
other than the Terminator in the
Yeah.
second one,
Well,
but
yeah, I
John
was
was
like
already
that was,
alive, so
yeah, that wasn't until the second one.
yeah. Well,
And in
let's
the sec
Ooh,
yeah, sorry, go ahead. No,
no.
it's okay.
No, we can
I was
keep
gonna
talking
say
about this.
in the second one, John's the one who sends Arnold Schwarzenegger back to save his mom
Yeah, that's right.
from the future. But in the first one, it's not John that sends. Skynet sends Schwarzenegger back in the first one to kill her, but then John in the future, in the second movie, reprograms him and sends him back to keep her alive.
Right.
Yeah.
But he still sends Kyle Reese back, right?
No, Kyle
John?
Reese dies in the first
No, I meant in
movie.
the first one. Like,
Oh, Kyle Reese sends himself back in the first one because he knows that he's John's dad.
oh.
Yeah.
Hmm. Oh, that's right. He volunteers for it to be the one to go back. Time travel paradoxes. Huzzah! Well, let's
Paradox, bitch.
let's get into some nerd news. And the most important piece of nerd news that we have is just a reiteration from earlier. November 8th, 9th, and 10th, we will be at Twin Cities Con with our own table and booth. Come hang out. Seriously, please. It'll be a ton of fun.
Yeah. We'll have a drink with you.
Yeah.
We'll give stuff away. It'll be a good time.
And we'll just have some other merch that you can pick up if you don't win a giveaway. Plus, there's going to be lots of amazing artists, local artists as well. I mean,
Yeah.
Hayden Christensen, Ian McDermott,
Even
Stephanie
if you're not
Beatrice.
there for us, just come say hi.
Yeah,
Okay. You don't have to go there for us. It would be appreciated. But if you're there, just come say hi to us.
yeah. Just come say hi. Be a good time. Real news now. You have to take this one. You've been standing this forever.
Uh, the big rumor right now for the next couple movies, Avenger movies, is that we are gonna get finally Tom Cruise as a variant of Iron Man. It was rumored a while back that it was gonna happen. Um, it never did, and now I think we might actually get it.
Yeah, we
And
thought maybe
as
Multiverse of Madness would have
yeah,
brought it, but
yeah, because he was part of. We thought he was gonna be part of the Illuminati.
yeah,
Um, so the cool thing about this is, I mean, everybody listens to this. I fucking love Tom Cruise. I don't care what you say. Um, but if you're gonna
weird
Robert
personal
Downey Jr.
beliefs, but awesome dude.
Robert Downey Jr. He's a short king. We know this, but he's a phenomenal actor.
Hmm.
If you're gonna replace him with anybody, even if it's temporarily only for a couple movies, you gotta do another short king. That's also a phenomenal actor. Tom
Yeah.
Cruise is perfect, and he was offered the role before Downey
Hmm.
ever was. So it'd be really cool to see this like in a paradox, bitch. You know? Uh,
Callback.
Six.
Oh no, you said you only did it once. That's what made it funny. Uh,
Fuck me, dude.
uh, I would love to see it. I before we became like good friends, I struggled with the separating Tom Cruise's crazy personal antics.
Mm.
I mean, Scientology. I mean, that enough said. And like how awesome he is as an actor, what he does for film. the way he treats the staff on the film, like all that stuff. And you made a true fan out of me of Tom Cruise as top tier.
Hell yeah, dude. If there's any
I always liked his
contribution I make
movies.
to this world, that was it.
Sweet.
Not my son.
Not buying a house, not getting married. It's making Chad think better about Tom Cruise.
Making the world feel better about Tom Cruise. Ugh.
Yeah.
I challenge anybody to have a conversation with me about Tom Cruise. If you don't like him, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I'll change your mind.
And if you have a better argument other than Scientology as to why not to, sure. But
Yeah. I mean, have you stared into his eyes? It's like the first time I heard the Beatles.
aren't you not a very big fan of the Beatles?
I love the Beatles.
Oh,
I thought you weren't a fan of the Beatles.
I appreciate them. I don't think they're as amazing as everyone claims that they are, but that's neither here nor there. What?
Watching my fantasy league.
Oh, I should have that up too.
This guy touchdown.
Well, in other nerd news, the Penguin on Max, or is it actually airing on
No,
HBO also now too? Uh,
that's a good question. I don't know. Probably. I know Max is like for sure, but I don't know about
yeah,
HBO.
because there's some that is one, not the other.
Yeah.
But that airs later this month.
Yeah.
I think like the
We
20 something.
yeah. We also in this same month get Agatha.
Yeah, all along.
Yeah. Agatha all along. I can't. I mean, I think this shit looks good. Like dark, scary. It would be really, really cool if we can get a fucking Mephisto uh cameo.
There's like a
Just a
fire
cameo.
demon somewhere.
They
I
wouldn't
don't.
show
I
it
don't
in
think
the
that's
trailer.
Mephisto though.
No.
Yeah.
I want to see just a cameo.
I
Like, it'd
did
be
go on
very, very
record though
small.
when that trailer came out and be like, Mephisto, said it first. Let's go. Just so that if we're right, be like,
That would
fucking
be
knew it.
dope. Yeah. Because we're wrong a lot, but when we are right, we like to let you guys know.
Yeah.
What was it? Wasn't there
It's
something
more
just
for us than
wasn't there just something recently that I had called?
yeah. I don't remember what it was.
I don't either. But whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Stephen Yun is being eyed for a different Marvel role since he had to step down as Sentry. But the rumor is that it's Mr. Negative, which would be awesome
I don't
because
know
we
what.
do know that in Spider-Man 4 that we're going to see some on-camera villains that have never been shown before. And that's
Did
mainly
you
because Sony sucks, and that's part of their contract deal.
did you know the guy who is replacing Steven Yeun as Sentry? I forget his first name, something Pullman. But did
Oh,
you
yeah.
know that that's Bill Pullman's son
I
from like
did only
Independence Day?
because you told me that.
Oh, I told you that? Oh,
Yeah, I don't think we had this conversation on camera,
got it.
but I
Got it.
remember you're like, I wonder if he's related. You're like, holy shit, he is, and I was like, oh,
Um, the other rumor that we got is we that we know we want they're gonna give us an older Hal Jordan for Green Lantern, probably training in a younger John Stewart. And the rumor now is Josh Brolin.
I like that. I love Josh Brolin.
I still think it would be dope if they did Tom Cruise.
I do
And we
too.
then we get him in both those MCU and the DC
Yeah,
universe. I
because
would
they're
fucking
not
love
long
that.
term contracts, so it's
hmm
not like a conflict of interest or anything. Yeah, 100%.
Originally, Tom Cruise was signed on for it, but he didn't because they were gonna do a movie, a while, under,
Warner Brothers.
yeah, and they were gonna kill Hal Jordan off in the first movie and then have John Stewart take over, and Tom Cruise didn't want to die in the first movie, so he turned it down.
Yeah.
But
He was
now,
all for letting his character be the one that dies. He just
yeah,
was like, maybe the second movie?
yeah. So now under a different direction, maybe we'll get him back. I would be fine with either one of them. I love Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
He just doesn't really scream Hal Jordan to me. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Um, but Tom Cruise,
Well, I mean,
yeah,
Top Gun, Maverick, like,
yeah, Tom Cruise. I would even take Chris Pratt as an older Hal Jordan.
that doesn't stick around too long because he has to go
Yeah,
voice Garfield 3.
yeah.
Or,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I would take Chris Pratt as Hal Jordan, but then
I could see
give us
that.
like give us like Michael B. Jordan or something like that for
That'd be so rad.
Jon Stewart. Yeah.
We already know
Anyways,
that he can, like, bulk up,
he kind of
you know.
just stayed bulked up.
good
He
good
got
for him.
he got beefy and he just kind of stayed that way.
He's like, this is my personality more. Have you guys ever
Kind of
tried flipping tires in the dirt?
kind of like this next person did the exact same thing.
Yes, Kumail Nanjiani has officially been cast as Booster Gold.
Kumail did the same thing. He beefed up and he just stayed that way.
Yeah.
He was on Conan, I think, and he's like, now that I have this, I cannot lose this. He's
Yeah.
like, I will not lose this. He's yeah, it's funny because Conan like gave, or was it Conan or Kimmel? I don't remember, but they were like gave him a bunch of like treats. They're like, now that you're not bulking up for Eternals, like we got you all these brownies and pieces of cake and all this stuff. And he's like, oh my God, I can't eat this shit. He's like, I'm not trying to lose this. You know how hard I had to work for this? I'm not gonna lose this. Yeah. So, but yeah, Booster Gold. I think that's really cool. Typically Booster Gold is like a white guy with blonde hair. And I think it's really cool that they're going with Kumail, who's the
Yeah.
Indian guy.
I mean, but still,
I'm a little biased, but yeah.
super charismatic,
Yeah.
good looking dude,
And has
funny.
that like cocky, yeah.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
quick quip, but like arrogant humor.
Love it.
Yeah.
I sail it. I like that.
Yeah. Well, I also don't have a layup for this
I
one.
was gonna give you a layup
Ah.
because because he's like a spokesperson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But whatever.
Yeah,
I
too
tried.
late.
Yeah.
Our other sponsor this week is Ray's Energy Drink, Eugene. Ray's Energy Drinks, 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 crash.
Eugene again.
What?
You went 0 calories.
It. My tongue doesn't work that way. It's a hard line of words. But if you don't like energy drinks, they have other stuff to choose from: protein packed desserts, supplements, sleep aids, lots to choose from. Learn how to save 15%. We'll be right back with you to talk about Terminator Zero. What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Raise Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with 0 crash. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their refresh formula technology, Raise Energy delivers a performance-enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Raise Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you. Okay, everyone. Now we're going to talk about a new show that's streaming on Netflix called Terminator Zero. See, that's where the Terminator question came from. The reference. It's like a circle.
Got
That was only
him.
for you. But yeah, it's an anime show in the world of the Terminator films, but it's based in Japan in the late '90s, and I was we're watching the dubbed version, but fuck, this show is good.
Yeah.
Violent,
Beautifully,
bloody.
beautifully gory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the animation is so awesome. I
It's kind
am
of
a
it's
big
kind
fan.
of creepy a little bit,
Yeah,
right? Like the
I
the
jumped once
I
in
bet you
episode
did.
3.
Oh, I haven't got that far. I watched the first two episodes. We're only going to be talking about the first two episodes.
Oh yeah, and
But
spoiler alert.
yeah, the Terminators like they just have like a deranged look on their faces. It's really
Yeah.
eerie. Like even to the point where Nicole and Cal came down here when I was watching it, and I like was like, "Oh, don't watch, don't watch, don't watch."
Yeah, because part of it also, um, in the first episode, even the first like opening sequence of the first episode,
Mm,
when that Terminator, like in the future time,
2022, baby.
oh, so in the past, sorry, bad joke,
At the time the show was made, yeah, 2022.
yeah, um, has like gets his face is burned and his mouth just like hangs open, and that alone was creepy
Hmm.
because he's just walking like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck.
And then the other one later on, like she burns his face and like
Mm-hmm.
all that, you know what I mean? Like it just looks creepy. Even before they like get all beat up and burned and shit, like they just have like a fucking creepy like looking face, dude. It's
Yeah.
swear to God.
Kid freaking out.
It's crying. I don't know.
He's teething.
No, well, yeah, whatever. Anyways,
He also face planted.
it's possible. The
But
cast on the show is pretty awesome. I mean, the main Terminator so far, he
mhm.
finally talks in episode two. I don't think he talks in episode one. But it's Timothy Olyphant,
Yeah.
which is fucking dope. I love Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah. And so the premise of the show, before I mention this other actor who's voicing a character, is there's a computer scientist named Malcolm Lee, and he's creating an AI because he's having like dreams and visions of the future about Skynet. Haven't gotten into why or how yet. I have a theory, but I'm further in the show than you are, so I'm not going to bring it up.
I also have a theory. Go ahead.
We'll let you do your theory. I won't share mine. Um, just because you haven't gotten that far.
We could talk about
Um,
it off screen.
yeah. Um, so he's creating this AI that is supposed to like combat Skynet. And the AI is voiced by Rosario Dawson.
Hmm. Fucking
Fantastic.
dope. Yeah.
And it's like he keeps referring to the AI as Kokoro, like that's the name of the AI.
Hmm.
But there's like 3 parts to the AI, which I guess is mind, heart, and
A
spirit.
three-body problem.
Such a good show.
Yeah.
Uh, oh, now you don't want to work IMDb? Thanks. Spirit, mind, and heart. Yeah, or Kokoro, but I mean, the cast is voiced so well. Um, there's who plays Mizaki, which is kind of like the kid's nanny, is Sumali Montano. I don't know
I
if
have
I
a
said.
theory about her too.
Okay, go, go on.
I think she's AI.
You think she is?
Because in the, is it the first episode? Yeah, it is the first. No, second episode. She cuts herself and she doesn't even know that she cut herself until one of the kids is like, "Hey, you're bleeding." And she's like, "Oh, I am bleeding." And then when they go to look for the kids after they ran away, um, and the dad gets her out of the car or whatever, and he's like, "I need you to go find my kids. I got to go run back to my lab or whatever." And she's like, "I don't know what to do." And he goes, "Hey, that's an order." And then she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go find your kids." I think she's AI that he created.
I don't know about if he he created her, but
uh, oh yeah, because she does have like a flashback with the knife. So I am right about that because you already saw episode 3. Nice. You're good at this.
it's the I think it's the first part of episode 4, um,
Nice.
where yeah.
I noticed it right away. As soon as she cut herself and like didn't react, and the kid was like, "You're bleeding," I was like, "Oh, she's a robot."
We did say spoiler alert.
Yeah, cool.
Who's your favorite character so far in the show?
Probably, probably the oldest son.
Kenta.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just he's clearly like very smart,
yeah.
and wants to like take the robots apart and stuff like that, and like find out how they work and shit like that. I think he'll have a bigger part in the future.
They um, Malcolm Lee, voiced by Andre Holland, um, even says something about that where like if I fail, like my kids are the key, and I think you're right. I don't haven't gone that far myself. Um,
Did you
my
watch? Have you seen? Sorry. Oh, my bad. My
oh
bad.
no, go.
No. Have you seen all of the Terminator movies? I just, did you at least see the Christian Bale one?
Yeah,
Did you catch the reference? I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but they line for line say, God, how does it go? It's like, if we don't do this, then we are dead. We are all dead. That's Christian Bale's line from,
oh, I did not catch that.
yeah.
I
Was that Salvation? Terminator
yeah,
Salvation, I think was that one. Yeah.
with Jai Courtney and
Nope. That was Genesis. Sam
oh
Worthington
yeah,
was,
I get
yeah.
those two confused.
They hear pretty similar.
Yeah, just one's
Blam would be
Australian.
the, oh, I
One,
made myself feel bad.
one's mayo, one's Vegemite. You know, um, I feel bad about that.
Mm.
I've liked things that they've been in. I just
I
don't
felt bad about
particularly.
mine too. That's why I was like, I made myself feel bad.
Yeah. uh, there. Oh, I was gonna. I like that in the show they keep talking about fate because the famous line from at least the first two is "There is no fate but what we make for ourselves,"
Mm.
and they keep like setting it up for that line to happen, and then they derail every single time. They're like, "Fuck this!"
It's
Like,
probably like season finale or something
oh
like
my
that.
god, I hope not. I like that they keep just avoiding using that quote.
What I really like about it right now is that there hasn't been any mention of John or Sarah Connor. Not that
Yeah,
I don't like those like characters or anything like that, but it's kind of fun to like go, let's go a different direction and like
yeah.
fuck with. It wasn't just. those people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Like
Yeah.
it was a
So
global thing.
so like the movies are that the Skynet, the robots who will eventually become Skynet, are sending the Terminators back to kill John Connor, who eventually leads a rebellion against the robots or whatever in the future. But this is I think maybe the main girl, played by, oh my God, where'd she go?
Sonoya?
Oh yeah, Sonoya. Yeah, Aiko. She is from the year 2022 and has come back to, was it 1997
Yeah.
or something like that? And she's trying to stop Malcolm Lee from creating Skynet. So it's
Not
a
not quite, because he mentioned Skynet as well.
well, yeah. So I think what the thing is, this is what my theory was, that I was mentioning off screen, is that obviously the program Kokoro that he has is Skynet. Like that is what the artificial intelligence that takes over the world is gonna be, I think.
Yeah.
And he's like saying that this is gonna go online like tomorrow. I need to like convince this AI that humans are worth saving.
Yeah.
And Aiko is trying to stop him or shut this down before it happens.
Yeah.
As where the movies were trying to stop John Connor from rebelling in the future, this is trying to stop the Skynet in general.
Yeah, because they mentioned Skynet a couple of times going online, part of his like visions and dreams.
Hmm.
But I feel like I agree with your theory that Kokoro is like the AI component that once
Hmm.
that goes live takes over Skynet
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
gives it the sentience.
exactly. Yeah.
Where it seems like Skynet's very much like, at least from what the show is
Skynet
hinting
was
at,
just a corporation in the movies. Yeah.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
like Google. You know,
Hmm.
like it was just like coding and stuff like that. But he created like a sentient AI that once
Hmm.
that launches to stop Skynet, bonds with it and then
Yeah.
takes over Skynet.
Which has already shown some aggressiveness in the first couple episodes.
Yeah,
It's like,
asking like,
why would I save you? What makes humans worth it? Everything. You guys are warmongers. Humans are warmongers.
yeah,
Every time you advance with technology, you destroy each other. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's not wrong, but
It's not, and I don't. I think it's in episode 2. It might be in episode 3. So I'm sorry, but Kokoro asks Malcolm Lee, like, convince me. What is
yeah,
one thing that humanity has done in their advancement that benefited everyone?
yeah.
And he's like, I can't just give you an answer.
That's
I'll show you, and then proceeds to do a terrible job of showing and convincing. It's like,
yeah.
no, maybe don't
But
let the computer nerd be the voice of
yeah,
humanity. We
I
don't know
like
how to talk to people.
the this is gonna sound douchey to use this word, but I just can't think of another. The contrast of it from like the movie aspect of it is where they send the robots back to fix the human problem.
Hmm.
Now the humans are sending, or now they're sending humans back to fix the robot problem,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. It's like a one direction to go. Yeah.
yeah, and
It's bloody. It's super bloody. If you like your gore, fuck yeah, dude. I mean, it's
yeah,
cartoon gore, but that makes it a little easier to digest if you're a pussy about it. But
yeah, and I mean, with how gory and bloody it is, I mean, it's like you said, it's easier to digest.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and I like what you said earlier about how like they haven't mentioned Sarah or John Connor.
Hmm.
It's a different region, you know, like they're for something like this to have happened in a any sort of real world scenario, like there multiple things had to be in motion.
Hmm.
So it's not like these two people this mother and son are the key to
Exactly.
everything. It's like no, it's more complex than that, and they're
Mm.
building that story, which
It would be
I'm
cool to get
really
it
enjoying.
later on,
Yeah,
like
like
if they
see how
like
they
tie
tie
it in.
together. Yeah,
Yeah, that would be cool. But right now, I'm really enjoying just not hearing about them.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm seeing if I wrote anything else down. I did not because I just wrote "wing it." Fantastic.
I mean, Aiko is a fucking bona fide badass in this show.
Hell yeah,
Dude, just taking on robots. One robot, well, two robots, because in the first episode, yeah.
yeah.
But
Getting
then,
shot and being like,
yeah,
I'll deal with it.
stabbed in the leg, still fighting. Like,
Yeah,
dude,
that
it's,
was the second episode.
yeah,
Okay, just making sure.
yeah. That was the second episode, yeah. Um, but yeah, man, she's a fucking badass, dude.
Yeah,
I whispered again. She's a fucking badass, dude.
yeah. God, stop yelling.
I'm really
Just
enjoying it.
kidding.
The funny part is that I told him I was like, I got to do my homework. I call everything that I need to watch for the podcast my homework,
Yeah,
and I'm like, I got to go do my homework. Blah blah blah. I watched, Rings of Power, and I was watching this show, and Nicole comes down with Cal, and it's like literally right at the part where Aiko gets sent back.
oh, so
You know?
she's naked.
So she's butt naked, and Nicole's like, "Oh, this is why you like this show." And I was like, "This is the first time I've ever watched it. I don't know anything about this show."
That's hilarious.
I mean, she was joking, like,
Yeah,
my, yeah, my wife's not like that, but
yeah. No, she's
yeah,
cool.
she was just giving me shit about it, and she's like, "Oh, this is why you wanted to watch this show."
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck was I gonna know that they did this? Now go upstairs so I can bait. No, I'm just kidding.
Go away, I'm baiting. For those of you that don't catch that reference, it's more of a documentary now.
The show is really, really good. I actually really wanted to binge watch it all day today, but we had to do this little thing that we call a podcast.
Oh, I'm
So
gonna finish it tonight.
the whole
Uh,
show, how many episodes is it?
8, maybe
Ooh.
10.
It'll give me
And
something to do later and tomorrow for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
so we might
Anyways,
talk about more than just 2 episodes next week,
yeah.
or it might just end up in honorable mentions because we have some other stuff going on.
Yeah, we might. I think by next week we could probably wrap it up and
Yeah,
do, whatever. And then
wrap it
there
up.
we have bigger, better thing, not better, sorry, bigger projects that are coming out that we need to talk about.
Yeah.
So
Final words for the first couple episodes.
amazing. Please check it out and let us know what you think.
Yeah. Sweet. Then let's close out the episode.
Bet. But before we close out this episode, we are going to talk about our honorable mentions. Chad, what do you got?
It's a bummer. I watched the Borderlands
I haven't
movie.
heard it. I was like, I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, I did watch the Borderlands movie.
And you loved it?
No, it was so bad.
Aw.
I like the world looked right, the guns, the vehicles, the psychos. That part is what I can make a positive out of this, but the rest of it, it's like they got the rights to make the movie, but the people that were making the movie never heard of it or played it before, so they asked their neighbor's 13-year-old son to describe it to them in 100 words or less, and then they made a movie out of it.
Woof.
Yeah, it all the quirks and little things that made the game so fun was missing. The only thing that was there was Claptrap, which is voiced by Jack Black. The rest of it just looked like someone once heard about this and they're like, I can make a movie about that.
Jack Black is in it.
Yeah, he voices the robot.
And then also in the Minecraft movie.
Yep. And like at this point in time, is it even a video game movie if Jack Black isn't in it?
and Mario or no, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, Mario, yeah. I almost said Mario Kart.
yeah,
Yeah. Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Wow. I
Wow.
was a little disappointed. By little, I mean
Bummer.
very disappointed. I got 20 minutes in and I was like, I don't want to watch this anymore. So I took an edible and hoping that it would make the rest of the movie better. It did not. Because I was like, well, I started this. I don't have anything for honorable mentions this week, so I'm gonna watch it. And nothing helped.
Well,
Yeah. Well, but I did watch this week's episode of Bad Monkey, but
yeah.
I know that's on yours too. So what do you
That's
have?
yeah. Yeah. Bad Monkey.
Sweet. Well, if you like the
And
no, I'm just kidding.
Nicole and I, in anticipation for season 2 of Shrinking, which I highly suggest you guys go watch. Um, we restarted season 1. I fucking love this show. It's so fun.
Yeah,
We're already almost done with season 1. The episodes are short, like half
mhm.
hour episodes. So,
I love
but
that show.
fucking A, I love the show. It's so good.
Yeah,
But
I need
that's
to rewatch
that's
that.
literally all I have. This past week we were getting ready for Cal's birthday party. So I would like go to work, come home, bust my ass.
Yeah,
Or Nicole would be at work and I'd be watching the kid. So
yeah.
yeah, it's a time consuming week, unfortunately.
It was a fun party though.
Yeah, it was a great party. I think it's a pretty good turnout too.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people there.
there was a lot of people there. It didn't seem like it, and then you walked inside and you're like, oh, there's twice as many people than I thought there was.
Yeah. I don't know why everybody was hanging out up there. It was hot as fuck upstairs.
Because there's so
We had
many
to
people
like
up there.
We had to like crank the freaking AC down because it was so hot in the house with
That's
all
why
that
it was
body
so
heat.
cold
Fucking
downstairs.
yeah, it was freezing downstairs last night.
I loved it for the whole 2.5 hour nap that I took.
But anyways, yeah, that's I don't have much for my honorable mentions this week, so sorry.
Yeah,
I'll do better.
you should be. It's fine. Well, if you like the show and would like to support us, please go like, share, subscribe wherever you find this show. Um, you know, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts. That's all of them. No, we're all over the place. If you want to become a premium subscriber, the best way to do that is to go to buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd and do what, Jake?
Oh, give us your money.
Yeah, it's great. We love it because it goes right back into the show. Um,
We have been doing this for how many years?
this is year 3
We have
and a
pocketed
half.
$0.
Yeah,
Just just so by us saying give us your money, we're not like help us pay our bills. We want you to help us make better content for you guys.
yeah. It goes into monthly maintenance, hosting, stuff like that. Goes into purchasing
Comic-Con.
merch, Comic Con,
Yeah.
um, all that stuff. Um, Also, over at allthingsnerdpod.com is our website with a link to our web store. That should be updated before November with everything that we currently have available. Everything that's on there is currently available, but we're making a couple of adjustments. Um, Also, shout out to Marty at Digicat Tech for building that website for us. If you need help with anything web related, marketing related, reach out to Marty at digicattech.com. Also, check out our other podcast. It's the Kobolds in the Basement podcast. If you like D&D, it's there. We love you. Thank you for being here. This is the All Things Nerd podcast.